From the Caribbean Sea to Venezuela's capital Caracas, months of US stress culminated in airstrikes and a midnight raid. Nicolas Maduro now sits in a cell in New York, and Israel cheers. Questions swirl. Was this really about drugs? Or was the US invasion of Venezuela a revival of Washington's Monroe Doctrine with Zionist tinge? In the early hours of January 3, the United States unleashed large-scale military strikes on Caracas. Special forces stormed a fortified compound, seizing Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, in a lightning operation now called Absolute Resolve. In Maduro's absence, Venezuela's now acting president, Delcy Rodríguez, branded the attack an operation with a clear Zionist tinge in a televised speech on January 4. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's swift and enthusiastic endorsement appeared to lend weight to her claim.
לגבי ונצואלה, אני רוצה להביע את תמיכת הממשלה כולה בהחלטה הנחושה והפעולה הנחושה של ארצות הברית להחזיר חירות וצדק גם לאזור הזה של העולם. אני חייב להגיד שבכלל באמריקה הלטינית כרגע יש מהפך שאנחנו רואים אותו בכמה וכמה מדינות שחוזרות לציר האמריקני ולא במפתיע גם לקשר עם מדינת ישראל.
Venezuela cut diplomatic ties with Tel Aviv following Israel's 2008-2009 war on Palestine's Gaza. Under Maduro, the country became one of the world's most vocal opponents of Israel's genocide in Gaza since 2023. Following the US's January 3 operation, Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar expressed hope that Tel Aviv and Caracas could re-establish ties now that Maduro is gone. Rodríguez claimed that the recent US invasion had a Zionist tinge has gained scrutiny amid financial gains tied to Venezuela's oil sector and linked to pro-Israel investors, including those involving US hedge fund billionaire Paul Singer, a major donor to AIPAC, the largest pro-Israel lobby in the US. Venezuela defaulted on its debt in 2017 and has been struggling financially since. Singer's firm Elliott Investment Management took advantage of this, and in November 2025, just 2 months before Washington attacked Caracas, placed a winning bid to acquire Citgo, a US subsidiary of the Venezuelan state-run oil company PDVSA, in a US court-ordered sale for $5.9 billion, a price Caracas says was far below its real value. Venezuelan officials have rejected the sale as illegal, accusing US courts of enabling the plundering of national assets during years of sanctions that have severely weakened the country's oil industry and economy. Some experts link these financial gains to broader geopolitical goals, including US efforts to reshape Venezuela's oil sector and reassert regional dominance under a revived Monroe Doctrine. Formulated by US President James Monroe in 1823, the doctrine states that any attempt by any state to control or interfere with newly independent states in Central and South America would be viewed as an unfriendly act toward the United States. As Netanyahu speaks of Latin America reconnecting with Israel, Trump dusts off an old doctrine of dominance in the hemisphere. The Monroe Doctrine reborn, with new allies, yet familiar interests. And as Trump now signals a possible ground operation in Mexico, another oil-rich state in the region, one question looms. If the US invasion of Venezuela had a Zionist tinge, will another country be marked next?